What's up people, it's your boy the Saiyan Satsumi back with another video, and I bet you thought I wasn't gonna do it.
One thing I say and always keep.
So basically, as you know, the world outside is going crazy. Everybody's scared, not too many people know what's going on, and you may be or could be quarantined. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, who knows, right? So for better or for worse, now you've got a bit of time on your hands. That's why today I want to recommend 10 of my favorite anime series that I believe you can binge watch through this time. So obviously, massive Dragon Ball fan, and I would say to binge watch Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and yeah, probably Dragon Ball GT. So because I would recommend that, it's out of the list. Mainly the basis for this list is it's going to be sort of the lesser known animes. And a lot of these all of these anime on this list are not lesser known animes. They are all amazing animes, I want to stress that. But in conversations with people I meet, people that enjoy anime, a lot of them haven't seen some of this stuff, and they're classics. Also, to make this list even easier, I've got them all under 100 episodes. So they're anime under 100 episodes that you can binge watch while you're still doing everything you love to do, still gaming, still hanging out with your kids, still cooking, still doing press-ups in your bedroom. Because you know, not everyone wants to just sit down and binge watch these huge animes. Not everyone's got enough time. Some people still want to do other stuff and still have to do other stuff in their lives. So let's say you cook, you clean, you play with your kids, you play your game, and then you've got a couple hours to watch a couple of episodes or something. This is the list for that. Also, like I said before, I'm staying away from the huge mainstream stuff. So I'm going on the assumption that you've already seen things like Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia. They're not on this list because I'm going to assume that you've already seen it because the hype for those shows was super real and are real. You're also not going to see any long anime on here. Like I said, under 100 episodes, so no One Piece, no Naruto, no Dragon Ball. And again, these are all super popular anime. I'm not trying to take away from that. They are all extremely popular, extremely huge, but a lot of people haven't watched them, so here we go. Also, just quickly, I apologize if it sounds like I'm trying to keep it down, because I am. It's like 2:30 in the morning and I'm trying to film this video while my kids are asleep. Why would you record a video so late? Well, because my kids need to go to bed, and they're loud. At number 10, actually two put together, Afro Samurai and Afro Samurai Resurrection. Now, if you haven't seen Afro Samurai, oh my gosh, are you missing out. This one is not gonna run you a lot of time at all. It's 5 episodes. Anyway, basic gist of it, 2 headbands. The number 1 headband, the number 2 headband. The number 1 is the number 1. The number 2 is the only person who can challenge for the number 1. So everyone wants the number 2 to get to the number 1. Afro sees his dad die because of these headbands, and now he's going after the number 2 to get to the number 1. Super basic revenge story. Some of the things you might notice about this, Afro is black. One of the other cooler things about this, Afro is voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, and all in all, it's just a super quick, super fun revenge story. One of the best parts about Afro Samurai is that it has a massive hip-hop influence. The soundtrack's actually done by the RZA, part of the Wu-Tang Clan, and yeah, the soundtrack alone on this one is wicked. And yeah, one of the reasons I really like Afro Samurai is because it's got a heavy hip-hop influence. Why I also mentioned to watch the second part of it, Afro Samurai Resurrection. It's just a full movie, and that's just what happens after part 1. It's an awesome part 2. So yeah, Samuel L. Jackson is a black samurai trying to get revenge for his dead dad. I feel like I don't have to say any more. That's it. On to number 9, it's HInomaru Sumo. Now, I watch a lot of anime, and this list is a lot of different genres. This is a sport anime, obviously. It's about a group of high school kids that do sumo. It's a super fun, super fiery story about these sumo wrestlers that are the worst rated school in the country, I believe, and they're just trying to get to the number 1 spot. It's your classic underdog story, and I promise you, you watch the first episode, you're gonna just want to keep watching this one. It's fun, and it really leaves you on the edge of your seat. You just want to keep watching the episodes. That's why it's part of the binge list. I'm really trying not to go into a lot of detail for these, but HInomaru Sumo is probably one of the best sports anime that I've seen. So yeah, if you enjoy the sports stuff, check it out. On to number 8, we have Assassination Classroom. Now, the name sounds super hard, right? Like, Assassination Classroom. Whoa, these guys must be like killing off other classmates and stuff, or they're just like a class of it. It is a class of assassins, that's true, but it's more like a fun class of assassins. This is the teacher, his name is Koro Sensei. Now, Koro Sensei is going to blow up the world, and the only way that they can stop him is with this class of assassins that he's teaching. Sounds weird, eh? But it's a super fun ride. Basically, the guy is invincible. No one can touch him, and he's like I will teach this class, and if they don't kill me by the time I blow up the world, then the world dies. And this class is just like a class of misfits. All the bad behaved kids, the not so bright kids go to this class, and this is the class that he's teaching. Now, it's not just about the kids trying to kill the teacher. They actually get this really good bond. It's a very deep story, and it's mostly him teaching these kids that they're not worthless. It's definitely one of the most light-hearted shows in this list. So if you want to watch something just sort of fun and a bit comical but has serious tones to it, definitely check this one out. Alright, so at number 7 we've got Beelzebub. Beelzebub is a hilarious comedy anime. It's about this kid who is a juvenile delinquent. He finds this baby at the river. The baby turns out to be the son of the devil, and now this kid is tasked with raising this devil to become the next Demon King. Trust me, it sounds super serious, but it's very funny. There's a couple good fight scenes in it. Definitely worth it if you like your comedy anime. I actually haven't seen this in years, and I'd love to binge watch it again. So if there's a lockdown for us here in Australia, definitely be watching that one. Alright, down to the number 6, and the number 6 I'm actually recommending 2 anime in this slot. It's because they go together. It is Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. The Fate series, in my opinion, was definitely one of the best animated of the decade. Bunch of magicians that get familiars that are all in this competition to win the Holy Grail, which will grant you one wish. All of the familiars have different classes, and they all fight together to the death. To the death. All the familiars are just spirits of greater heroes. So there's a lot of history involved in this show. The animation is beautiful, the story's really well told, and it's just fun, and it's cool to test your knowledge on historic figures. I mean, obviously a lot of it is made up, but it's super fun to kind of test your knowledge of history to figure out who these heroic spirits are, if you've heard of them before. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Getting into our top 5, and I really don't want to talk or explain a lot about these top 5 because I just think that they're cool for you to go into watching and just sort of taking it all in. So I'm going to try not to ruin the stories for these ones. I kind of just want people to go in there and watch them, but trust me, they're in the top 5, so they're really good. At number 5, Samurai Champloo. Just quickly, I own this on Blu-ray. That's how good it is. I don't know if you can see it because of the lights and stuff, but this one here is actually a picture of Samurai Champloo. And similar to like Afro Samurai, this has a heavy hip-hop influence. But yeah, really briefly, 2 warriors, a samurai, a rogue, whatever you want to call them, both samurais, both ronin, accompanying a different girl across Japan to find a different samurai. That's all I want to say. Just trust me on this one. It is one of the best. If you like your samurai, if you like the hip-hop element towards animation, definitely check this one out. At number 4, we have the infamous Deathnote. Again, I just want to stress this to everyone. I know that these are massive animes. What I'm saying is a lot of people aren't watching these. They need more credit. Alright guys, I'm sure that this shot looks very different. My camera died, and now I'm using my older camera. I was using my new camera, but it died, and so now I'm using the old camera. I haven't filmed for a very long time. This is a lot harder than I remember it being. Anyway, like I was saying, these anime don't get enough credit. If you have seen this and think, how is this not mainstream? Oh, trust me, I've spoken to a lot of people that have not seen Deathnote. But basically, high school kid gets a notebook that's fallen out of the sky, and magically he writes anyone's name in it, and that person will die. Thus leading this child to believe that he can change the world for the better. Now this is different from the others on the list where this doesn't have any major fight scenes. This is all mental chess, mental warfare. He's perceived to the authorities as a sort of serial killer, which I suppose technically is true. He believes he's doing divine work. Definitely an all-time favorite. If you like that sort of stuff, if you don't want to always watch the fighting, if you want something that's gonna engage your mind a little bit more, definitely check this one out. At number 3, we have one of my favorites of all time, maybe in my top 10 of all time. It's Bungo Stray Dogs. It's amazing. I don't want to talk too much about this one either, but basically there's a special bunch of people that have special powers. Some of these people with special powers work in an agency. Some of these people with special powers work for a criminal organization, and a lot of the time they fight each other. Now I know what you're thinking, that is a horrible explanation, but honestly, just from these visuals alone, don't you want to check it out? The animation is amazingly crisp, very well done, and it's an awesome story. I mean, look at this. This guy turns into a tiger. This guy makes illusions. This guy can make stuff from his notepad, but can only be the size of his notepad. As far as binge watching goes, it's amazing to binge watch. I've watched this series twice. Season 1 does start off a little bit slow, gets really good at the end. Season 2 is incredible, and Season 3 is pretty solid as well. It's definitely no Season 2, but the first half of Season 3, so good. Actually, even the end of Season 3 is such a good payoff. It's a really good series. Definitely something that you can binge watch and really enjoy, so check it out. At number 2, and I'm sure I'm gonna get hate for this, definitely one of the greatest series of all time, FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Again, it's insane, but you wouldn't believe how many people have not seen FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Okay, so without trying to wreck this too much, two brothers raised by a mother dies. They learn alchemy. Alchemy changes the properties of things, so it's like an equal exchange sort of thing. They try to bring back their mum from the dead. It doesn't work properly, and one of the brothers loses his complete body. The other brother loses a leg, and so he sacrifices his arm to bring his brother's soul back and puts his brother's soul in a suit of armor. And so now we start on this epic journey where they're just trying to get his brother's body back. A lot of stuff happens in between there, stuff I really want you to watch for yourself, but this is definitely top tier. One of the best animes ever made. It's a super compelling and super engaging story. Never a dull moment, lots of action. And the only reason this got to number 2 on my list is because I just love the number 1. I mean, I love everything on this list, but I had to put them in order for the video's sake. So yeah, that's number 2. Super good, definitely a great binge watch, check it out. Alright, now to number 1, definitely in my top 10 of all time. So for number 1 for binge watching, we have Psycho Pass. Now Psycho Pass, in my opinion, hasn't done any episodes wrong. I mean, Psycho Pass 2 is definitely not the best, but it is still really good, and Psycho Pass 3 is good as well. So this show is based further in the future. The whole world is basically gone to shit. Every country is war-torn, there's peace nowhere but Japan. And that's because they have the system in Japan that is able to detect crimes before they happen. So the base of this, it's pretty much a cop show, and the police are trying to capture the serial killer that they can't register in the system. His mental state, what they call a hue, his hue doesn't change. So he's able to kill people and stay at a reasonable level where the system is not catching him. Like Deathnote, it's a bit of a thinker, but it also has some wicked fight scenes. Probably the best fight choreography in an anime that I've ever seen. Just super realistic hand-to-hand combat, and also look at this gun. Look at the way this gun changes. You can't tell me that's not cool. But yeah, like I'm sure I've said a bunch, I really don't want to over-explain this. Just check it out. It is the number 1 for a reason, trust me. But again, these are all based on my opinion and what I really like and enjoy. That's how I've rated them. And hopefully you can take some of these shows and choose the ones that you think you're going to enjoy best and just binge watch them. They're all great series. I've watched them all more than once, and you're definitely not going to regret it. But yeah, like I said, it's crazy times out there, and I just wanted to make a video showing you what anime that I really enjoy and what I think you guys will enjoy. Like I said, I've limited this list to be under 100 and sort of not the typical mainstream ones that you'd normally hear people recommend. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. What would you recommend? What would you have put in this list instead? Let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, that's gonna do it from me, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you already haven't. It is tough times out there, so remember to be kind to each other, stay inside, watch some anime, eat some junk food. But all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'm the Stay Inside to me. Catch you guys next time.